All right, well, welcome everybody. I'm Dr. Michael Furlong. This is our monthly segment of Ask Dr. Furlong on our Facebook Live and Instagram Live. And this is a big moment for us because we want to be able to showcase one of my newest patients here who had recent surgery with me. This is Michael. This is his wife, Terri. And their son, Noah, who is 6 months old, who has reluctantly agreed to join us, but he is doing awesome. So we wanted to welcome them to Ask Dr. Furlong Facebook Live. Welcome. So thanks for coming, by the way, and sharing your story. Tell me a little bit just about, what brought you to my office and why you thought about doing laser eye surgery, and then we'll get into the specifics of what your vision problems were and what surgery you had done.
So for the longest time, I've wanted to have laser eye surgery ever since in 6th grade. My band teacher showed me his video of him doing it, but obviously I was too young at the time. And then from there, later on, I think the two biggest things that got me to do it was having a kid. Waking up in the middle of the night and looking for your glasses is a tough task. And when he eventually was able to grab onto things, that made it even more difficult to keep my lenses clean. So that on top of my FSA issue where I accidentally put in money into my 2018 FSA and had to spend it within 2 months, that made for a great opportunity to move forward.
It gave you a little bit of kick in the rear to kind of get it.
Right,
it sounds like.
And then I also had a couple friends that came to Dr. Furlong's office and had highly recommended you.
Excellent, good. Well, so whatever the reason, people have different reasons for wanting to come in and check out and see if they're a candidate. So one, I thought that was kind of humorous, was the FSA. For those of you who don't know what that is, FSA is your flexible spending account at work. And usually there's a period of time for a couple of weeks in the fall where you have an opportunity to sign up and put pre-tax dollars away for something like LASIK surgery. And if you miss that window, you kind of got to wait a year, but you had a baby and that qualifies you to sign up right away to put money into your flexible spending account. You kind of serendipitously put it in and kind of thought, wow, now I got to do this within 2 months. And if you don't use the funds, I think you lose them. Is that the way it's billed? Right. So it gave you another reason to do it. So I'm glad that you're able to come in. When Michael came in, one of the things I learned pretty quickly is, if you guys heard the term Coke bottle glasses, that's him. We talk about prescription in diopters, and the laser procedures can go up to about 10 or a little higher than 10. He was 8.5, so he was up there. And what that means is that the glasses are obviously very thick, and what it also means is that without your glasses, probably the farthest you could see clearly was maybe 4 or 5 inches in front of your face.
Yeah, it was terrible trying to figure out which one was the shampoo or conditioner bottle in the shower.
There's a photo there.
Yeah, good point. So we're going to bring up, okay, so if you guys can see this. Now, you probably can't see how nearsighted he is there, but that's the look, right? There. Do you remember that, Terri?
I do.
Yeah, remember that look.
Do you remember grabbing my glasses?
He's like, who is that guy in that photo right there? Well, he's not wearing the glasses anymore, but we know who it is. And so the other thing that I noticed on your eye exam is most people who are that nearsighted generally wear contact lenses because glasses make things a little more difficult with peripheral vision. Sports are kind of out of the question if you've got thick glasses sort of thing. So when I looked at your eyes, I noticed that you had some blood vessels that had started to grow onto the cornea because of chronic contact lens wear. And sometimes if those get bad enough, eye doctors will tell you to stop wearing contacts altogether and only go with glasses. Well, fortunately today we have the laser option as a third option, and when you came in and see me, what I detected was that your corneas, although they were normal, they were a little bit on the thin side. Right. And when you have thin corneas combined with a high glasses prescription, LASIK, the surgery we commonly hear about, is oftentimes not an advisable procedure because it would actually thin the cornea too much. And so the alternative to that is the procedure you had, which was advanced PRK surgery, where we use all of our detailed measurements that we get with our sophisticated equipment to come up with a treatment plan. So you had surgery with PRK laser with me in mid-January of this year. So Michael is less than 3 months out from his surgery.
Right.
And right now he's healing on schedule. His right eye is 20/20, his left eye is getting there. It's a little bit short of that, but with PRK surgery, he can have improvements all the way up until 6 months after surgery. So tell me what it was like to make the decision to have PRK and then what it was like on surgery day.
First, when I was told that I was going to have PRK, I was like, what the heck is that? So I started doing research, found out it's basically the same end result, but the recovery process does take a bit longer. And I mean, it was one of those things where I was fully committed to getting the surgery, so that didn't deter me. I was just slightly concerned with my recovery time and how much pain I was going to feel after the surgery. And I'm glad to report that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I didn't have to take my Tylenol with codeine. I was just staying on top of my eye drops, and everything that they told me happened. So within a week, my vision was functional. Within 2 months, it's stable right now. And I'm looking forward to all the improvements that I may see up to 6 months.
Did you used to wear contacts predominantly?
Yes.
So one of the things that people who can't wear contacts predominantly, one thing that they always tell me is when their eyes are fixed, they can go to just any old, department store and get over-the-counter sunglasses as opposed to complicated prescription sunglasses. So you can get the Ray-Bans, the Maui Jims, or whatever it is. We're about to embark on summer here in California, even though you wouldn't know it because it's been cloudy and rainy all winter for us. But when that time comes, that's really, really a nice benefit, is you'd be able to do that as well. How long did the surgery take?
So a couple months ago, you interviewed someone who said his video took about 10 minutes and 6 seconds.
Okay.
I'm glad to report that you are under 10 minutes.
Oh, good.
It took 9 minutes and 58 seconds.
So who timed you, Terry? Were you the stopwatch?
Oh, from the time that I got into the seat till the time we ended, it was 9 minutes and 58 seconds, and you said you were going to improve on that, and you did. So congrats.
I broke my record. Now, some of it is not in my power because the higher your glasses prescription, the laser is a little longer, so I have to actually improve on my processes outside of that.
So I gave him a difficult task, but he accomplished it. 10 minutes, just like they said.
So what we typically tell all patients, LASIK or PRKs, they have to use eye drops following surgery, and there's a schedule, and we go through that with you. Usually about 5-6 days after your surgery, you come back for a checkup. We make sure everything's healing up well, and then we check you back periodically. We just did his 2.5-month vision check today, and as I mentioned earlier, he's already reading letters on the 20/20 line, and it typically will continue to get better from there. So now let's talk a little bit about waking up in the middle of the night. Are you guys getting much sleep?
We are. Actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
this guy is a sleeping champ.
He is.
He's actually sleeping 12 hours through the night. So,
Really?
So yeah, we don't really have too many issues with that anymore.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's just a big blessing to have him in our lives, and the fact that he doesn't have any glasses to grip onto is a huge blessing.
They do that, right? They just grab onto your frames and then boom, they're gone, or they're across the room already.
And it also helps out when we travel too. I don't have to worry about bringing my contacts and my glasses, which is the last thing you want to think about when you have to worry about all the things you have to worry about with a kid.
So we'll take a few questions here in just a little bit, but I did show you the one picture there as well. There's the family. When was this taken?
A couple weeks ago, actually.
Okay, so this is pretty recent. And I've got to show the shirt. I don't know if you can see that.
Read it.
The shirt says, "Mr. Steal Your Girl," with the heart. All right, so we'll open it up for a few questions. Please submit those if you haven't done that yet.
Your jobs and what you do every day.
Tell us a little bit about what you do. Yeah.
So I'm a buyer at a yoga outlet. It's actually close by, but we're a strictly online retail store, and I buy for all of different brands, different vendors. Yep.
And me, I work at Stanford School of Medicine, supporting doctors and staff and whatnot. Basically, my job title is escalation team, or I don't know, escalations. And so I support the techs that support the end users.
Oh, excellent. Good. And you've been doing that for how long?
I've been doing that for 5+ years.
Excellent.
Do you know anything about Stanford, Dr. Furlong?
What about Stanford? Well, they didn't make the NCAA tournament this year, unfortunately, so we can't talk about excellent basketball. However, they did manage to get the formerly known as Sears Trophy once again. So one other thing while we get a couple of questions teed up, I did want to mention this. So we're very proud of this here at Furlong Vision. We're right now in the middle of voting for Best in Silicon Valley. And what this is a San Jose Mercury News contest where you can go online and vote for the best places for a bunch of different categories, for best place to get your car fixed, best place for get your carpet cleaned, and there's a whole list. And we've been very fortunate and blessed to be voted the best place for LASIK for 11 years, and the voting goes until this Sunday, April 7th. So we would appreciate your vote if you think that that would be something you could do for us. There is a URL here. It's just BestinSV, SiliconValley.com, and there is a website. You just go in and scroll down and be able to vote. We'd appreciate that. Do we have any questions we can take?
We do. Tommy says, are there any options for vision correction if I can't have LASIK or PRK?
Yeah, so the question is, are there more options depending on your eyes? And the ones we've talked about today with LASIK and what Michael had with PRK are what we call our laser options. And they're for the vast majority of patients with pretty straightforward vision and glasses prescriptions. But there are some people who either have eyes that can't tolerate that much laser or for whatever reason are not good candidates for the laser options. And generally speaking, those are ones with really, really complex prescriptions. And we do have lens implants that work for those patients as well. So to see if you're a candidate for different technologies, if you've been told that you don't qualify for either LASIK or PRK, come in and see us. We'll do a free evaluation. We'll tell you what your options are, because there are more than just LASIK and PRK as options.
Okay, Noah.
Or no.
Noah, how old are you?
How many fingers? I think he's holding up 6.
6
Six
Six months old.
That's great. Adam is asking, is the preparation time for the procedure the same for both LASIK and PRK?
He'd like to know too. Yeah, when you come in and do your evaluation here, we need to get a bunch of measurements that help us program the laser, and irrespective of whether we recommend LASIK or PRK, the amount of data that we collect and the examination is the same. It's really coming up with the surgical planning part that's different, and that's what the doctors do on our side, usually a few days before your planned procedure. But the first step, just to make sure that you are a candidate, come in. We don't charge for that examination. We will do some measurements to see what you might qualify for.
I think you might have answered this, but so he says, if I come in for a consultation, do you determine at that time if I'm a candidate for PRK rather than...
Yeah, in most cases we can tell from your first initial visit here. There are some borderline cases where we need a few additional scans and measurements, but we can get a pretty good idea just from that initial visit whether you're a candidate for LASIK, PRK, or neither, and then if neither, what your other options may be.
And are you a music fan and a sports fan? Is that what I heard?
Yes, definitely. So in terms of sports, I follow the Warriors, the Niners, and Warriors, Niners, and the Giants. In terms
No
of
Sharks?
during the playoffs, yeah.
We've only got a week to go in playoff start, just so you know.
And actually, in terms of music, I play piano and guitar to this guy. So one of the cool things is that now he really appreciates music. Anytime I pick up a guitar or he sees a guitar, he automatically smiles. And yeah, it's one of those things where we're connecting on music now, so it's a good thing.
Well, you did mention your music teacher had LASIK done,
Yes.
and that's where you first heard about it, I guess.
Yes.
And thought, eventually I want to
Right.
get that done.
Mm-hmm. He showed us the video in band class, so.
That's unusual. Usually the ones I've seen is usually the biology teacher will show
Oh.
because it's a biology thing, but
Right.
music, I guess he had run out of material. All right, well, we're going to wrap up today's segment. It was a pleasure to have Terri, Noah, and Michael, my patient, to join us on Ask Dr. Furlong Live. If you have other questions you would like to ask about what we talked about today, or even other eye-related questions, you can submit it through the Facebook Live app there, and go ahead and we'll answer those questions later. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on, and I
Thank you.
wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Bye.
Good job.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Good timing. Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was fun. I really appreciate it.